Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chicago, or not Chicago, Michigan, for a massive matchup between Bad Boys Basketball and Gotham 5. First place in the conference on the line for Gotham 5 as Rocky Mountain Monsters suffered their 8th loss, or the 9th loss of the season. They are now sitting behind Gotham 5. Gotham 5 has an opportunity here to lock in with their final game of the regular season, the Legacy Conference top seed. I am Marsh, joining the booth today by Siege for a big matchup for a Bad Boys basketball team, Siege, that just recently clinched a playoff spot. They still have an opportunity to potentially move up to the 7th seed, while Gotham 5, as we said, chance to take in the number 1 seed in what could be a preview of the first round of the Race to 1.
Yeah, Mark, all that's interesting, but what's really interesting to me is this very well either way is going to look like a preview of a first-round matchup. If we have Bad Boys take this one, that's going to move them one step closer to securing the 7th seed, but it's going to push Gotham back and give them a better chance at the 2 seed, which would match them up. Other side of it, Gotham secures the 1, Bad Boys probably going to be in the 8. Either way, we're very likely looking at a first-round preview here.
And if we were to get that preview, you'll be looking at a matchup of Lorenzo Phenom inside, trying to find some way to get going against the three-headed monster of Aaron Lovejoy, Mugen Williams, and Mackenzie Mbako. Lorenzo Phenom had a phenomenal 4th quarter to close out their last win for Bad Boys basketball that clinched them that 8 seed in that win against Philadelphia Elite. Adamu 4th quarter will be a little bit tougher sledding this time around when you have to face Aaron Lovejoy and Mugen Williams, both of whom played phenomenally in the dominant win over the Originators last time out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're talking about a team that has looked top shape recently. Gotham 5-0 in their last 5 with wins over a couple big teams. One of them you mentioned, a 20-point victory over the Originators, another team who's been slumping but has largely been considered one of the best teams in the league. So at the moment, there are not a lot, if any, teams who look more dangerous than this Gotham team right now.
5 winners of actually 6 in a row and 15 of their last 17 games. That obviously comes on the heels of the 4-game losing streak that dropped them to 7-6 on the season at that point in time in May, and the subsequent firing of Tim Bilardi as we get a jump ball here. They have been, by far and away, the best team in SimWorld Hoops since that point when you look at record, offense, and defensive efficiency on both sides of the ball. As the jump ball back here, this one falls to Malcolm Chamberlain, swings it around to Owen Pride. Pride getting the opportunity to start tonight for Bad Boys basketball. He's next to Aiden Weaver and Samuel Bogus. So that's a moving out of the starting lineup of Bo Pagnotti Jr.
Yeah, and I mean, that Pride family's got to be feeling really proud of their son Owen for making the starting lineup. That's a great thing. I'm happy for them.
Lowest of hanging fruits you went for that early.
They need to get pick 2, Marsh.
Pointer there from Mbako won't fall. Mbako had a phenomenal first quarter on his way to a 20-plus point night against the Originals. 14 of them came in the first quarter. Then Gotham 5 build a early lead at home on Thursday night as Bogus can't get that to go. Rebound. Heads the opposite direction. That's Lovejoy up to Mugen Williams. Looks like it might have knocked off someone's leg. That's going to be Malcolm Chamberlain in transition. 2 points for Chamberlain and his first of the game. 5-4 here early on in what has been a exciting and impactful Saturday in SimWorld Hoops. We mentioned Rocky Mountain Monsters. They all earlier today to Africa. That ends, or at least puts up in doubt, their number 1 seed. Meanwhile, a couple other finals from this morning. The Yacht Club beat the North. SimWorld Europe, a surprising win over Run DMV. And relatively pointless at this point win from Atlantis and Cascadia.
Well, that Atlantis-Cascadia game, if a couple games had gone differently, it could have been a very meaningful matchup. Instead, it was still a hard-fought matchup. Good one, but didn't quite have the meaning that it could have. But how about SimWorld Europe? I mean, Run DMV is in the race to 1, like, for sure. Like, they are comfortably in it, but that, I mean, every game at this point still comes down to seeding. That could possibly push Run DMV down. And it's looking like at the moment they're slated up with a big rival in Beast of the East for the first round after that loss.
Plenty of playoff seeding implications on the line, though. We have our first timeout. We will take a timeout. We'll step aside. 4:34 to play in the first quarter here in Michigan. Back here in the Body Shop Sportsplex, Bricktown, Michigan. 5-4 early on, Gotham 5 on top in a very, as Siege mentioned, potential preview, if not an all-out preview of the first round of the Legacy Conference side of the bracket in the race to one. Baco fires up and buries a three. Baco shooting 41% from deep on the season. He now has 64 threes. Puts him just inside the top 10, actually ahead of Aiden Weaver for Bad Boys basketball in the 10th most points.
You know what, March? And you posed this question when we called the originators in Gotham together. Ready not to just put Mbako in the top 6? I'm actually ready to put him in the top 5. Best players in the league right now. How hot he's been, how good he's been, how efficient he's been, scoring the ball, and this team's dominance. This is going to be maybe a hot take. I'm ready to call him a better player than DJ Wagner at the moment.
Traveling violation of the ball in Gotham 5. That is a strong take for Mbako. Mbako, though, has come on recently very well, and since the departure of Coach Tim Belardi, averaging 16.7 points per game, obviously 2.5 points higher than his current average. He's gone 16 consecutive games scoring in double figures, and on a team that has quite a good bevy of talent, Aaron Lovejoy included, with the Giannis-like Euro. Certainly finding the shots for Mackenzie Mbako is not quite as possible as compared to some of the other superstars in the league, as we get a Bad Boys basketball timeout here. They've got three other players, Majere Williams, Aaron Lovejoy, and Kyan Anthony, each of whom is averaging 10 points or more. So if you want to point to, and truthfully, Siege, it might be a hot take. I'm not sure how incorrect it is in terms of people are going to look at stats. They're going to look at counting stats, and they'll say, well, Mackenzie Mbako doesn't score, assist as much as DJ Wagner does. He doesn't need to, because this team is much deeper. I think there's a very valid argument. You put Mbako on any other basketball team, and he's probably averaging 20-plus points per game.
I mean, I would agree, and here's the thing that I would use to back up that whole idea when we talk about Mbako. Early in the season, he was being used like that. He was getting that kind of shot volume, and he was struggling, he was slumping, but we saw that the whole team was out of whack. And then as soon as Belardi left and they started clicking a little bit more, and they're on 15-2 since then, Mbako has been sensational. And so I think it's hard because he wasn't able to get out of that slump when it was all on him. He needed some teammates to help him, but I think now that he's got it going, I couldn't agree with you more. If you put him in the situation that a DJ Wagner is in, or even a Lace Darius Outlaw is in, I think or even you threw him on this team with Bad Boys basketball, I think you're looking at a 20-point-per-game scorer for sure.
Well, Gotham 5 certainly has an opportunity here to move one step closer to locking up the top overall seed, which looks like the top of that one bounces around, finally corralled by Anthony. That's Mbako. Looks like he thought about a three-pointer before Aiden Weaver steps up. Instead, it's going to be a handoff, and inside can't get that to go. That's Dior Bates in the layup. 12-4, a dominant start here. Mbako's got 5. Gotham 5 dominating on defense, and this has been their calling card all season long, but especially over the last 17 games, just 57.5 points allowed. For reference, the current league leader, as Mbako gets 2 more to go, the current league leader is Beasts of the East at 61.8. So over the last 17 games, Gotham 5's defense has been far and away the best in the league.
Yeah, and I mean, it all starts with that duo they have inside with Mugen Williams and Aaron Lovejoy. I mean, they are dominant in the paint, offensively and defensively, honestly. They get boards, they protect the paint. They're really paint intimidators. You don't even want to take a shot down there when you know they're down there.
Dior Bates burying a 3 in this one, getting out of hand quickly, 17-4. First quarter, 1:47 to play. We'll step aside briefly, back for the conclusion of the first 8 after this. Back here in Michigan, Gotham 5, led by Mackenzie Mbako's 10 points. There might not be a better first quarter score right now in SimWorld Hoops. 10 points from Mbako, 17-4 advantage for Gotham 5. Again, Gotham 5 wins this game. If they do, we will confirm a matchup of Gotham 5 and Bad Boys basketball in the first round of the Race to 1 in Houston, Texas. A loss, Bad Boys opens up the possibility of moving up to 7, and it opens up the possibility of Gotham 5 falling to 2, which again would then be a matchup again of these two teams in the first round. Aiden Weaver gets a 3 to go, his first bucket of the afternoon, and it's 17-7. Of course, you don't ever want to look at a matchup like this and suddenly start assuming it would go that way again. The most notorious example being the 2007 final game of the regular season in the NFL, the New England Patriots. Competitive win over the New York Giants, but of course the loss coming in the Super Bowl in February. So plenty still to be played here in this one. We've got 3 quarters and some change, but off to a hot start. But answering the bell right now, that's Lorenzo Phenom getting his second bucket of the afternoon. He's now 2 of 5 from the floor.
And I'll tell you what though, Marsh, I know you can't ever expect it. A second match, it's hard to beat a team twice, right? We always say that beating a team twice is hard, but if this is going to be a preview of a playoff matchup, Bad Boys is going to have their work cut out for them going into it, because they got to figure something out right now.
Well, I'd like to push back on that narrative. It's tough to beat a team twice. Sure, it's tough to beat a team twice. It's tough to beat a team one time, but if you look at mathematically a team that's won 73% of their games, and you remove the opponents and you say you got to beat them once, and then you have to win a second game, just because it's against the same team, I think that is a emotional narrative and not a factual narrative.
Well, sure, and the narrative,
just win a game.
The narrative usually goes that it's hard to beat a good team twice. If you go in there and upset someone and you got to see them again, that's where it really gets tough. So I would agree, it's more of an emotional narrative than it is a factual one. It's more of a schematic narrative than it is an actual one, because, you know, the team sees your scheme, everything, it does up the difficulty a little bit.
Well, Bad Boys trying to fight their way back into it. They've cut it to 8 as we end the first quarter, 19-11. A great first quarter from Mackenzie Mbako. Lorenzo Phenom gets rolling a little bit there to close it out. Second quarter, Michigan on deck.
SimWorld presents Around the Table with E and the Fat Man.
What's up, everybody? This is Big Bob.
And this is Elava.
And we are the co-hosts of Around the Table with E and the Fat Man.
Around the Table is the SimWorld Hoops podcast where Big Bob and I give our takes on various sports around the world.
Make sure to tune in every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time to hear our takes.
And don't forget to join in on the conversation with us on Discord at discord.gg/SimWorldNBA.
And make sure to follow us on Twitter and YouTube at SimWorld4K. And as always,
see the game, be the game. Later, folks.
We're back here in Michigan. Gotham 5 on top, 19-11. Mackenzie Mbako playing like top-tier player here. 10 points in the first quarter is coming on the heels of a 14-point first quarter. He helped Gotham 5 eventually pull away from the Originators and perhaps maybe the largest statement game of the season. Gotham 5 winners of 6 in a row, looking to push that to 7. The winning streaks of 8 and 7 in back-to-back sequences as your Bates unable to get that one to go. Lorenzo Phenom on the board. Mackenzie Mbako starting this one on the bench. No, I beg your pardon, out there on the floor. Something we did not see from him in the matchup with the Originators. But a quick bucket inside, and Bad Boys not going away just yet.
And Mark, that's something we've seen not just in the Originators game, but it's been in a few of their wins in the last 6 of them. We kind of see Mbako get out to an insane start. You know, he had 14 in that first quarter against the Originators, and then kind of slowed down for the second and third quarter and came back with a handful of buckets in the fourth to close it out. It almost feels like he's their opener, their closer, and the rest of the team kind of fills in.
A 11-2 run here for Bad Boys basketball. Lorenzo Phenom carrying that. Samuel Bogus now pushing this to a 13-2 run. And what was a 13-point game now down to 2 points here early in the second quarter.
It's getting hot in the body shot, Marsh. That's right.
So to Kyan Anthony in the corner, that three won't fall. Rebound for Bogus, heads the opposite direction. Quickly move the ball inside. That's Elijah Alexander, but he's going to be turned away by Mbako. Keontae Dior up. Draws the foul, almost gets it to go, but that's the first on Phenom. That will send Keontae Dior to the line as he checks in for the first time on the night. We're averaging 4 points per game, but the litany of bench pieces that Gotham 5 boasts, including Ian Anthony, Zaire Matthews, one of the better defenders in SimWorld Hoops.
Great perimeter defender. He kind of locked up the outside while you've got Lovejoy and Williams inside, locking up the paint. It makes for a really tough team to play against.
This one falls for Keontae Dior, and checking in is Majere Williams. Williams, second leading scorer on this team, just a touch above Aaron Lovejoy. And plenty of family activities going on with this group. Mugen and Majere Williams, Zaire and Hakeem Matthews for Gotham 5. Can't get the second to go. Here comes Malcolm Chamberlain, coast to coast on the board. We've got ourselves a 1-point game. Bad Boys basketball has got themselves up from the mat, Undertaker style, right back into this thing over the last 4 minutes of game time.
Well, Mark, that's one of the first things you teach on defense. You got to stop the ball. Someone's got to step up and stop the ball. I don't care if it's a big bringing it up. You got to stop the ball.
Kenzie Mbako, no stopping him. The 6'9" sweet shooting jump shot for him. We're back to 4. Mbako now up to 13 points. He, of course, has already eclipsed the figures now for the 17th consecutive game. Weaver, though, with a tough, I beg your pardon, that's Pagnotti Jr. coming off the bench. And that against Williams.
And the Pagnotti posse's going crazy out there in the stands right now.
Pagnotti posse here at the Body Shop Sportsplex. Into the paint there. Owen Pride can't get that to fall. Tough sledding as always against a guy of Mugen Williams' 6'11" stature. Roger Williams, he'll flip to Kyan Anthony. Anthony, the 3, gets it to go. Few balls falling left and right here for Gotham 5. A team that's certainly not afraid of pulling up from deep. Oh, more efficiently moving that ball around. 26-21. Inside, that's moving Williams. Williams, the powerful slam. Owen Pride, hope you're smiling for that poster.
You're throwing a Wheaties box tomorrow.
Wheaties, that's a throwback. I know it's still printed, but geez. I feel as if there's been a sharp decline. I'd be interested in the financials of this as the 3 for Bad Boys Won't Fall. Sharp decline in cereal production, or rather cereal consumption, I would feel like.
Yeah, probably. I'll tell you, I only got one cereal I really go to. That's Raisin Bran. It doesn't have to be the brand name Raisin Bran.
Who rated?
I agree, Marsh. And I feel like you would be someone who would agree with me on that. Raisin Bran is incredibly underrated. I think people think raisins and milk and they go, ew, but Raisin Bran's a phenomenal cereal, and it's my number one. It's my number one personally.
I'm sorry, I don't want Lucky Charms and their freaking marshmallows at 7 in the morning. You're part of real.
Agreed. Lucky Charms, the marshmallows are great, but I'm gonna be honest, they're not. I don't want it for a cereal. I would love to buy just a bag of the marshmallows and have them as like a late night snack or something, a nice treat. But it's not a cereal I want to get my morning going with.
I wholeheartedly agree. Another solid cereal choice. This was my go-to back. I actually did a little hypothesis testing in high school on this, as Mackenzie and Rocco can't get that to go. Before big days, if I had like a test in like social studies or something like that, I would eat frosted mini wheats. And so I took a test. I had my frosted mini wheats, and I scored well on the test. I had some retention as a tough Keontae Dior retention that.
Oh, he had his Raisin Bran this morning.
To finish the point, I had my frosted mini wheats did well on my social studies test. I tried the next time we had a test. I did not eat my frosted mini wheats, and I did not do as well. And I said, I think this is obvious. I need frosted mini wheats in my day to start it out, and that was my go-to. And that's a foul called here on Mugen Williams.
That's just science, and you can't argue with science. You can, but you'll be wrong most of the time. So, that's good stuff.
Found my energy level was, stronger for longer. There's not a lot of protein in any cereal source, but that's just cereal.
I feel like, you're
Go
right.
ahead.
Protein source is not something you're going to find a lot of cereals. What you're really looking for is a good fiber source. You want
frosted mini wheats. It's just wheat.
Great fiber source, and that's going to keep your day going, going to keep your body flowing, and that's what you need out of your breakfast.
Absolutely. And I don't want somebody could comment, well, they make protein act cereal now where like there's protein in the, and that's not cereal then. Let's just there's been a recent tick in companies making like fit versions of otherwise unhealthy things, like the store the other day, and somebody had a fitness peanut butter peanut butter dough type of thing, and it was like, oh, this is like a fit version. You look at the nutritional facts, and it's the same amount of carbs, the same amount of fat, and the same amount of protein as normal peanut butter. They just slap a word fit on it, and they make it seem like it's the greatest new thing as Aiden Weaver gets a 3 to go. And it's just, look, people, just because it says fit doesn't mean it is.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. More protein doesn't always mean better for you. You can overload on protein too.
Well, I mean, you can overload, but I mean, protein's necessary.
Well, absolutely.
Been in tough bucket there from Majere Williams. Gotham 5, they have weathered the storm of Bad Boys rallying back, have returned this lead to 7 here late in the second quarter.
And that's one of the most disheartening things as a team, when you play really good defense for 23 seconds, when you play really good defense the whole shot clock, and then he puts in a tough bucket in your face. I mean, it's disheartening.
Majere Williams fouls down on Samuel Bogus, not much to argue about there, did not stay vertical against the Chicago, Illinois native. I guess 5.7 assists per game for number 1 in the league ahead of Montel Cage. Though could not get the first free throw to go. Perhaps one of the few weak spots in his game is his shooting, just 86% from the free throw line. Now I say just, not because that's not good, but the shocking rise in the amount of team free throw efficiency. The league leaders are reigning trade at 90% the free throw line. Borderline untouchable, but top 10 is all the way down to 85%, which is impressive at this level.
I guess, but Mars, they call them free throws. They're free.
Look, I'm just saying, if you look at the NBA, they don't hit at this rate. That's professionals.
It's free, Marsh. I think NBA players should be shooting a higher percentage too. I don't care that you're 7 foot, 260. You got shoulders that are bigger than me, and it's hard to move your arms in the right form. Figure it out. Figure it out. They're free. You're a professional basketball player. Figure out how to shoot free throws.
James Jones Jr. gets his first 3-pointer to go the night. Aaron Lovejoy trying to get some work.
God.
Does indeed. Against a pair of big men, Jones Jr. and Lorenzo Phenom, does not deter him at all. Just now running down the clock here. 14 seconds to go in the first half. Second separates shot and game clock. Inside to Phenom. Have to go to work. 3 seconds to shoot. Gets that one up. Won't get it to go. Board. Put back. Won't fall. That will end the first half. Gotham 5 builds a 13-point lead before Bad Boys basketball makes their rally back 36-31 at the break. A great first half from Mackenzie Mbako, but a good second quarter from Bad Boys basketball, Such.
Yeah, and I think what worked for Bad Boys when they were making that run, one of the things they got quite a few buckets on, a little handful of them, was they were able to turn over Gotham. When they're able to do that and get out running, we saw that dunk from Malcolm Chamberlain. We saw a couple easy layups, things like that. That's, I think, what they need to be focusing on. If they can find a way to turn over this Gotham offense, it's going to result in easier buckets. They're not going to have to face the full force of a Gotham 5 defense that, as you have said, in recent memory, has been the best in the league statistically. So that's what I would like to see them try to do. Gotham 5, just keep it rolling. They're weathering the storm. They're hitting their shots. They just got to keep playing their game.
Efficient shooting from Mbako, a good finish from Phenom. Second half in Michigan coming up. We're back. Bricktown, Michigan. Gotham 5 on top by 5. 36-31. 13 first half points from Mackenzie Mbako. 8 from Aaron Lovejoy, leading the way for Gotham as they look to lock in the top seed and lock in Bad Boys basketball as the 8, guaranteeing this would be our first round matchup in the Legacy Conference. Here's Majere Williams trying to go on Malcolm Chamberlain. Tough bucket, can't fall. In the opposite direction, Chamberlain, talented defender, leads the team, 2.7 blocks per game, a certain deterrent. He's also 5th in the league with those blocks. Plays the role of interior defender that Lorenzo Phenom hasn't quite embraced here for Bad Boys.
Well, when you got to focus so much energy of being the offensive star, you know, maybe he just doesn't have it in him to play both sides.
You should. Turnover here. Samuel Bogus heads the opposite direction. Again, the Bad Boys basketball deciding to mix up their starting lineup, inserting Owen Pride in place of Bo Pagnotti Jr. Bogus, a confident corner 3. And we got ourselves back to a 2-point game.
I got flashes of Jokic and Jamal Murray on that one. The pass off to him, gets a double team, swings it back around to him on the cut to the corner. Just beautiful basketball.
Zaire Matthews starting the second half. Gotham 5. Mbako trying to answer with a 3. He does.
Does he miss?
It is tough to slow this man down. 66 threes now on the season. 16 points tonight, shooting 41% from deep. 6'9", 210. D'Angelo Jordan and Mackenzie Mbako might be 2 of the harder perimeter wings to defend. From a shooting perspective, both of them in that 6'8" range.
D'Angelo Jordan is finally getting the attention I think he deserves. He's another guy who I think is an incredible prospect.
I've been riding that train. Oh, hold on. Been on that train for a while. Two-handed slam from Chamberlain. I fully believe had Lakeshore Drive been a more prominent threat for a playoff spot, that D'Angelo Jordan would have been receiving the recognition he deserves. Add that to reigning Trey's Jaffet Towns as the nice inside pass from Mugen Williams, Majere Williams, little family ties, gets that going.
I think
is what gets attention.
We're gonna see Jaffet Towns go ballistic in the playoffs. I'm hoping. You know, whether or not they're able to go any kind of length or whatnot, I don't know. But I think we're gonna see a show from Jaffet Towns once he's on primetime. He puts on a show every night. It's just like you said, they don't always get that primetime recognition that some other teams do. So once he's in the race and every game's primetime recognition, I think a lot of people who maybe haven't seen it are going to get to see exactly how good Jaffet Towns is.
As they stand currently, they would be looking at a first-round matchup with Rocky Mountain. The Rocky Mountain being sat temporarily as the top seed in the Legacy Conference. So, of course, again, Gotham 5 can wrap that up themselves today because of Rocky Mountain's loss to Africa as a block there from Owen Pride. And they have the potential to fall to 3, which would have reigning Trays face the Originators as a 3 again from Mackenzie Mbako. He is ripping the nets apart tonight.
That matchup for reigning Trays against the Originators could be a favorable one right now. I don't know that they have the wing defenders to kind of deal with the Jaffet Towns. That could be interesting.
Aiden Weaver, very difficult shot there against Majere Williams. Your third quarter, if you're just joining us, Gotham 5 got out to a 17-4 lead before Bad Boys raced back in the second quarter. Keeping this thing competitive, was within 1 at one point in the second. And Chamberlain gets them within 2 here in the third, which they've been on multiple occasions. They have not led in this game, fell down 5-0 early on. Since they've been as 1 have not been tied. Here's Mugen Williams against the much smaller Samuel Bogus, but he blows the layup. It's here to tie or take the lead. Owen Pride inside, tie ball game. Timeout for Gotham 5. Owen Pride, a big bucket there. We'll step aside. 3:21 to play in the third quarter in Michigan. Knotted up, 44 apiece. Welcome back to SimWorld TV. Gotham 5 Bad Boys basketball tied up at 44 apiece. You're watching this on SimWorld TV. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications to SimWorld TV on YouTube, the exclusive home of SimWorld Hoops, and the Race to 1, which begins August 12th. We wrap up the regular season this coming week before the top 16 teams in the league converge on Houston. All of that will be exclusively and live at SimWorld TV on YouTube, so making sure you're following along for every step of the action. The top 16 teams have in fact been confirmed. What's still up for grabs is seeding. Talked about this. The top team right now, Gotham 5, a chance to lock up the top seed and thus lock in a matchup with Bad Boys basketball. Regardless of Bad Boys' final game of the season, which is against Beasts of the East, they would still be locked into the 8th seed as Aaron Lovejoy's fadeaway won't fall. He gets his own board. Enzi Mbako, 19 points here for Gotham 5, but it's been 11 points from Malcolm Chamberlain on a perfect 5-for-5 from the field, and 10 points from Lorenzo Phenom, a 5-of-10 shooting. And that has gotten Bad Boys basketball back into this thing, but it's Keontae Dior breaking the tie here off the Gotham 5 timeout.
And how about Mbako? I mean, I just don't know how you could look at him and not call him potentially, at least potentially, a top 5 player in our league right now, but I digress.
Elijah Alexander turns that one over, stolen by Kyan Anthony. Anthony struggled tonight, 2 of 7 shooting. He pumps that inside. Aaron Lovejoy, the 2, and just like that, quick back-to-back buckets. Gotham 5's lead is back to 4.
Oh, Bad Boys are definitely competing. Gotham 5 playing well, but Bad Boys is fighting. Something I've seen them do this third quarter is a lot of people shy away from the paint due to the Gotham 5 imposing defense down there. But they've been going into them. They've hit some tough shots inside, and there's another one inside, and I kind of like it. They say, we know that kind of a big part of your defense, what makes you great, is people are scared to go in the paint against you. We're not going to shy away from that. We're going to go right at you. We're going to test that out.
Eden Weaver put Noah Bates walking on ice there. 2-pointer. And tough defense from Malcolm Chamberlain, but the follow from Aaron Lovejoy. He's got 2 points, or rather 4 points in the last 2 possessions down. They have not found an answer, Bad Boys, to the two-headed interior presence of Aaron Lovejoy and Mugen Williams.
Well, I don't know if many, if anyone, has any answer for that duo, but
Step back 3 here won't fall for Bad Boys. Pulled in as the rebound by Bates. Let's try to push. Stuffed there from Pagnotti Jr. coming off the bench for the first time this season. Joy working against Jones Jr. Find the spot. Won't be able to, but draws the foul. He'll head to the line. James Jones Jr. called for his first. Lovejoy with a chance to push this thing back to potentially 6 here late in the third quarter. Bad Boys basketball did plenty of work to tie this thing up at 44 apiece. Since that timeout by Gotham 5, a quick 6-2 run, chance to make it 8-2. As Lovejoy heads to the line in what would be his 6th consecutive points if he can get 2 to fall. It's the first. That's 5 in a row from Aaron Lovejoy. The other bucket there came from Kyan Anthony to break the tie. I beg your pardon, Dior Bates to break the tie.
yeah, it's hard to keep them straight with all the talented guys they have coming off the bench, but
Certainly plenty of it. Gotham 5, as they've had one of the more prominent turnarounds this season. From 7-6 on May 10th to 22-8 here, and we close out the month of July.
yeah, that's insane. One of the most prominent, the other prominent one I can think of, but not in a good way. Lone Star basketball, they went the other way. But
Star, I believe, started as a pull-up there for Aiden Weaver. I think it was 7-0, something like that. And they are now 16-13. Sitting in 6th place, and a very real potential for them to drop to 8th. Asia Pacific just to rise their way up the standings, as is Yacht Club, who won tonight to move to 16-13 as well.
Yacht Club with dangers. To be honest, at the moment, if I'm one of the top seeds in that conference, I would rather play Lone Star than APAC or Yacht Club. at the moment. Now, that's not to say once you get there, everything kind of resets. You're there, you made it to the race. Momentum matters, but it's a whole new record. Doesn't matter anymore. You get your matchup. It doesn't matter what you did in the regular season. And Lone Star does still have a lot of talent on that team. Jace Miguez, Nene Gibson, Derek Long defensively. You never know. They could really reset their team and be as dangerous as they were early in the season.
Trying to find their groove late in the year, not always easy. Lone Star losers of 3 in a row. So stumbling late in the season is Bay Area. They've lost 5 straight games. A team that at one point had an opportunity to be the top team in the league. They've lost 5 in a row, 5. They now have 12 losses on the season.
And that one's surprising to me. But Bay Area is kind of the team that I would say mirrors Gotham the most in terms of just the amount of talent that they have on their roster. The amount of guys they have that can get it done, but they have kind of been the opposite of Gotham, and they're late in the season. Instead of turning it up and looking great, not so much.
Aaron Lovejoy can't get that to fall to end the frame. Bad Boys basketball steadies themselves to finish it out 52-49 here in Michigan as we head to the 4th quarter.
Welcome home.
Mom, Dad, this is Cindy.
Cindy, yes.
So nice to meet both of you.
It's nice to meet you finally. Travis has told us so much about you.
All good things, I hope.
Yes, of course.
Good.
Please,
Thank
welcome.
you.
Oh, Mom, no.
Dad, this is Shannon.
Oh, hi.
Shannon?
And this is Aaron.
Hey, cutie.
That is Jessica. Jenny, Sarah, Megan,
Hi.
Nicole, Elizabeth.
Acts. Use in moderation.
Welcome back to Michigan. Bad Boys basketball trails by 3 here as they are looking at their likely first-round opponent in the race to 1, though not guaranteed. A win here for Bad Boys would temporarily give Rocky Mountain Monsters first place in the conference. Rocky Mountain would have to win out to secure that, though, as they are 1 win behind Gotham 5 in the winning column, obviously, but do not own the tiebreaker. Bad Boys, though, does need a pair of wins to chase down reigning Trays 7. So if Bad Boys were to win, it would still be an 8th, and that would be a Rocky Mountain matchup. They would have to win again against BC of the East to secure the 7th seed and gift themselves another matchup with this Gotham 5 team. As rebound pulled down there by Lovejoy. And of course, if Gotham 5 wins, they secure number 1. And Bad Boys basketball secures number 8. So it would be a tough little stretch for Bad Boys basketball, and it will be regardless of how this plays out, as after their game against Philadelphia, they played Run DMV prior to that. They've now got Gotham 5 and then Beasts of the East matchup. So 3 of the top 5 seeds in the Legacy Conference, and Rocky Mountain so far 0-1 in those games. Pagnotti Jr. pulls up over the top of Mugen Williams, and we're back to a 1-point game here to minute and a half into the 4th.
And March, I actually, not to destroy what we've been talking about all game, I just got a note from our producers and stat guys that Bad Boys basketball, even to win out, do not own a tiebreaker over the reigning Trays, so they are in 8th seed confirmed.
Okay.
No matter what, reigning Trays is locked in at 7th, Beyond the Arch locked in at 6th, and then the top 5 seeds are where we could get some mix around.
Right, so Gotham 5 still has a chance to get the top seed and still get the likelihood of this matchup. Even with a loss, there still has a brief pointer from Pagnotti time, but Gotham 5 still would have somewhat of an inside track. They would need Rocky Mountain to win out to not be the number 1 seed. As we get a timeout here for Gotham 5. Reminder for all you tuning in, whether for the first time or a return visitor, you would know these directions as always, but Make sure you're following in Discord, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. That is the home for all things SimWorld Hoops, from storylines, podcasts, the daily Rick's Ice Cold Blazing Takes, the Marsh Pod, the Mediocre Pod that comes out 3 days a week, every Sunday at 3 p.m. around the table. Siege, you're involved in SimWorld today. Talk dirty to me with our very own Maestro. Of course, around the table is with Big Bob and Elava. So you've got content, you got audio content coming every day, and you've got plenty of written content as well. Top 10 rankings for players, power rankings, positional rankings, reporting on all the drama. So make sure you're staying locked in and getting immersed in the world of SimWorld Hoops, and making sure you're not missing anything any single day. SimWorld NBA on Discord, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA.
Get in there, get involved. Don't let everyone else have all the fully loaded content. You got to get your fair share.
Indeed. Always new pieces coming on the horizon, so making sure you're getting all the news as it comes available on there. And there's plenty of great things not yet announced that are be entering the SimWorld Hoops Discord and other avenues before long. Fourth quarter, tie ball game. Bad Boys basketball needing a win here to get some confidence going down late in the season as a three-pointer from Anthony don't fall. Malcolm Chamberlain a chance to give Bad Boys their first lead. He'll kick it out. Owen Pride had a opening for a three momentarily. Doesn't take it. Bad Boys has not led yet in this game here as we are just under 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Go to Phenom. Phenom bringing the double team as Gotham 5. He'll have to heist this one up, and he gets it to fall. That is the first lead for Bad Boys. Lorenzo Phenom over the top of both Aaron Lovejoy and Mugen Williams gets it to go. Phenom has played exceptionally well here for Bad Boys. Now a 2-point advantage.
And what an electric shot to get that first lead. That's just great defense. Better offense.
Mackenzie Mbako wants to answer, cannot.
Fair.
Rebound to Phenom. Mackenzie Mbako, a quiet fourth quarter. August, he's hit a couple big threes here in the fourth. He'll drive on Williams, gets it to fall. And just like that, a 6-0 run. And Bad Boys basketball on top by 4.
And here it is. You can't let it slip away now. You got to stay locked in. Don't let them get a bucket here. They're going to, but you've got to lead. You kind of have to keep running with it. You have to stay focused, stay locked in. This is not the time to say, all right, we got to lead. Let's take a little rest. This is it. You got 4 minutes left. This is a big win here.
So Phenom kicks out to Bogus. Bogus buries. Samuel Bogus. Massive bucket, and it's a 5-point game as we are past the midway point in this one. Bad Boys basketball, their offense has awoken in the fourth quarter against Gotham 5. Here's Mackenzie Mbako. He wants a three. That won't fall for him either. Rebound for Phenom.
I mean, Marsh, all momentum aside, a win here for Bad Boys gives them a much better chance to not have to play Gotham again in the first round of the race to 1. So, if nothing else, that would be a great reason to be trying to win here. Jeez Louise.
Bo Pognotti Jr. gets that to go, and this is a 7-point game, the largest lead for Bad Boys as they continue to pile on here in the fourth quarter. Point shots for Gotham 5 have not fallen. Mackenzie Mbako continues that trend. He's now missed 3 consecutive three-pointers.
Bad Boys could take a 10-point lead here.
Now to Bogus. He doesn't want the three. He wants to attack. Won't go. Rebound to Lovejoy. Gotham 5 has gone into the deep ball. They're not a top 10 shooting team from beyond the arc. They're certainly not terrible, but not one of the league's best. And they are one of the league's best at getting it inside and scoring as Aaron Lovejoy gets 2 to go. Steadies the ship and a timeout from Bad Boys. 2:39 to play. Reminder, this is not the only game on the SimWorld Hoops docket tonight and today. We've had a handful of impressive ones throughout the morning, but as we turn clocks towards midnight and sunset hours, 8 p.m. in Santa Barbara. Best Coast Ballers and Showtime Basketball, your other game tonight on SimWorld TV. Also got 7 p.m. matchups on local broadcasts for Bay Area and Oceania, and Lone Star and Queen City Kings. But SimWorld TV goes back on air 8 p.m. from the Levanchi Center in Santa Barbara, California. Another massive matchup, divisional rivalry, Best Coast and Showtime. Some seeding implications on the line there in the Legend Conference, yes, but also Pacific Rim Division.
That could be a great one.
Ball here is Bogus. 5-point advantage for Bad Boys. They turned it on in the fourth quarter just as they did against Philadelphia on Thursday. Naughty wrangles that pass from Lorenzo Phenom, gets a screen from Chamberlain. Switched on to his Lovejoy. Wing inside, guarded by Majere Williams and Malcolm Chamberlain. No concerns. Big 5-inch size advantage, and he takes full advantage of it.
He's been sensational today.
Timeout for Bad Boys. We're going to step aside. 2:09 to play. Bad Boys basketball up by 7 in the fourth. Welcome back. We're at the Body Shop Sportsplex in Gotham 5, taking some body shots as Bad Boys looking for the knockout blow in the fourth, up by 7. They have dominated here. They have kept Mackenzie Mbako in check as Aaron Lovejoy's fadeaway won't fall. Rebound heads the opposite direction for Owen Pride. Mackenzie Mbako 0 for 3 here in the fourth quarter, has not scored, and it's been Samuel Bogus. 8 points. Big shot Bog. Powering home 8 points, 4 points from Phenom. Bad Boys basketball. They have found a lineup they might like with Owen Pride at 6'7". He replaced again Popagnati, who's 6'1", giving Bad Boys some much needed size. So head coach Sonny Jackson, and up and under Aaron Lovejoy. I think, truthfully, Siege, we haven't talked about it, but Sonny Jackson, some impressive coaching decisions here. Good decision to start Owen Pride. Matchup with the length of Gotham 5 has really paid off, especially in the fourth. This Phenom, though, gets turned aside by Mugen Williams.
Yeah, and I got a chance to talk with Coach Sonny Jackson when he first got hired, and he was very intent on figuring out what to keep and what to implement new from himself coming in, and I think he's done a really good job of that.
Aaron Lovejoy matched up against Samuel Bogus, gets it to go. Lovejoy has been phenomenal tonight for Gotham 5, and just over a minute to play. This is a 3-point game. Bad Boys basketball on top, holding on to it. Bogus with the ball, guarded by Anthony. Trying to get it inside, but it will get turned away. That's Mugen Williams with the steal.
The crowd is on their feet here in the Body Shop, ready for this one.
Ian Anthony to Lovejoy. Lovejoy turned aside. It's going to be a foul called on Malcolm Chamberlain. He cannot believe it.
Good
stops what would have been an easy bucket from Lovejoy as he heads to the free throw line. Beating both of these to pull within 1 point. Aaron Lovejoy for the strike. 45.3 seconds to play. Gotham 5 down for the first one. Ruckus Body Shop. Won't go, folks. That is the first missed free throw of Aaron Lovejoy's season. I was hesitant to say anything and get the announcer's jinx, but that is the first free throw Aaron Lovejoy has missed all season long, and it comes with Gotham 5 needing every possible bucket. He gets the second to go. As a 2-point game because of the first ever missed free throw by Aaron Lovejoy, first this season.
That's insane.
Inside to Phenom. Phenom will be fouled. Can't get that to go. He had a back-breaking game-sealing and one against Philadelphia. Now, though, has a chance to push this back to a 2-possession game. 85% free throw shooter himself. We'll see if he can shake off the announcer's jinx that almost befell Aaron Lovejoy.
I mean, I'm sure he'll make these.
Phenom's first to make it a 3-point game. No, he won't. I'm going to put that one on you.
That's fine.
I'm going to allow that one to be on you, saying he's not going to miss them. The announcer's jinx, the last one to say it, that's the last one that gets it. So Phenom, he goes 1 for 1. That is after Aaron Lovejoy shockingly went 1 for 1. And we are still at a 3-point game here, fourth quarter. Ian Anthony bringing the ball up. Ball has not gone through Kenzie Mbako's hands. They've been trying to get it to Lovejoy here to close this game out. He wants to fade away. He won't go. Shocking decision there. Gets it to Bogus. Bogus will be fouled. And Siege, we did not see the ball going through the hands of Mackenzie Mbako at all late in this fourth quarter.
I mean, the whole fourth quarter, you're right. No Mbako, which is surprising to me. I don't really know what they were thinking here. And then that last possession, I get it. Lovejoy's been hot. Get him the ball, but I didn't like the shot choice. There was no motion going on offense. Didn't even try to get him switched on to a different matchup. And all right, well, big shot Bog can't put down his first free throw, but door's still open. But I did not love that last possession from Gotham.
As you mentioned, Bog is leaving the door open for Gotham 5 here. Second free throw up and good, so a 4-point game. That'll be a timeout called here from Gotham 5, their final one, coming with 19 seconds left. They are in need of a bucket, and as we've said, they did not go through Kenzie Mbako on that final couple possessions. They've been feeding it to Aaron Lovejoy. They didn't get the switch they were looking for, and Lovejoy's fadeaway over Chamberlain wouldn't fall. 4-point game here, 19.6. What are you expecting out of the timeout?
I'm expecting, look, like you said, whole fourth quarter, no Mbako. I'm looking to see him come, and yes, he did miss 3 threes consecutively, but I think right now you either get him or Ian Anthony coming off of one of those down screens, right kind of under the wing that we see Gotham do a lot, see if you can get them that open 3. I mean, regardless of whether he's been hot or not, Mbako's the guy you want taking the shot right now. See if you can get him that 3, cut it to 1, and play from there.
Bad Boys trying to hold on for what would amount to a confidence-boosting in here, and also setting up the possibility of actually not having to deal with Gotham 5 in the first round. Rocky Mountain watching with intent interest on who they could potentially match up with if they were to indeed lock up the top seed, but they have 2 games left. We'll need to win both to accomplish such a feat. Only winning or losing to guarantee one matchup or the other is always a fool's errand, so Bad Boys aim to get the win, and we'd be curious to hear if that's a decision made that they feel they match up better with Rocky Mountain compared to Bad Boys, compared to Gotham 5. Inbound to Mbako. This is his first touch since about the 3-minute mark. Got a screen from Lovejoy. Driving to the rack on Chamberlain. Up and in. Kenzie Mbako taking full advantage. Now the pressure on Bad Boys to get some free throws. Foul here by Sire Matthews on Bogus, but Bad Boys going 2 for 4. Bogus and Phenom combined on their last free throw attempts. That has opened up the door for Gotham 5 to stay in this thing. Eating another 1 for 2 night. A trip to the line here from Bogus. Gotham 5 is. Keep this thing in reach. First one. Push it to 3 points. Will indeed. That's the important one.
They call him Big Shot Ball for a reason, Marsh. There's no way he's going to miss this one.
I guess his second one up and good. 69. He has hit the magic number of 69. Bad Boys has.
Start the buses.
Kenzie Mbako's last second heave won't fall. We'll get a foul on Bogus, but it's not going to matter. Bad Boys basketball getting a massive win, 69-65. Expect this to potentially end up at 70 or 71. That will move Gotham 5 back down a statistical tie with Rocky Mountain. Of course, Gotham 5 owns the tiebreaker, so temporarily sitting in first place still. But if Rocky Mountain can win the next 2 games, which is Gotham 5's final one, they could reclaim the top spot in the Legacy Conference. But for now, Gotham 5 moving back into a tie with Rocky Mountain for the top seed. Bogus gets both to go. This is a ruckus Body Shop Sportsplex, a statement win for Bad Boys. And they do, in fact, deserve to be in the top 8. They do, in fact, deserve to be taken seriously as an upset threat in the first round. 71-65, Bad Boys wins this one. For my partner in the booth, Siege, our production team, thank you for joining us on SimWorld Hoops, and as always, see the game.